Hey everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Talkoffame podcast. I'm Kylie Montigney. Today we are welcoming literally another Yankee fan, like a diehard Nicoletta Alcamo. She's a passionate Yankee fan and content creator who brings together baseball, music, singing, and pop culture through her platform. Shares authentic fan experiences, and she's the owner of her small business, AllStarSparkle. Welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited to have you on, especially with everything from spring training to Florida and stuff all going on. So I really appreciate you coming on and taking the time to talk with us today.
Yeah, thank you so much, Kylie, for having me on. I'm excited to be here.
So, you literally are second guest in a row that's a Yankee fan. Wait, this previous episode, we had Anthony on, in which he's our co-host of the podcast he just started doing, right?
Yes, Pinstripes Uncensored. Anthony and Chris invited me to be on as a co-host this season and had to take the opportunity. They're really fun to work with and we love talking about the Yankees. So yeah, definitely check out our podcast.
Definitely. Make sure to check out the episode with Andy too, as well, wherever you listen. How did that come about? Because I know Anthony kind of discussed that last episode about doing a podcast and kind of explain kind of adding you on, but how did that kind of actually coming about to talk about more about the Yankees? Because I already know you have like a big platform on TikTok and Instagram and all of that for the Yankees, like beating Aaron Judge and all of that. So how did that kind of come about?
So I know Anthony and Chris have been doing that podcast, and a couple months ago they had invited me on to be just, a guest. So I did that. It was really fun. I really enjoyed, the questions that they asked me, and it was a lot of great energy, stuff like that. And yeah, then one day earlier this year, probably maybe like January-ish, I would say, then they texted me, then asked if I was interested in, being on full time as a co-host. And for me, I just try to take every opportunity I can to, expand my platform and just get my voice out there. And, working with them is really fun. And, yeah, so I'm excited to be on there this season and, talk some Yankees baseball. Love
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Like for me, like I am a Dodger fan. You might hate me for this, and Yankee fans might hate me for this, but I'm a Dodger fan. And I know I'm definitely gonna ask your opinion on this at some point this episode about the Dodgers Yankees mashup. I'm sure you have a lot of opinions about that mashup and the previous Yankees postseason that I know I have a lot of opinions about. I'm sure you do too. But to go to the Yankees, like what made you first fall in love with the Yankees growing up? What did you grow up a Yankee fan or how did that go?
Yes, I love this question. I was born and raised a Yankee fan. My family has always been huge Yankee fans and baseball fans. I really just grew up around the game. Like even my brother, was in travel baseball, so I was always going to these games and stuff like that. It was just always around the game. Yankee games were always on, and my dad, my brother would always be talking about it. And but when I was really little, I, of course, wasn't really that into it, and I didn't really understand it. Now that was until 2017. I was Aaron Judge's rookie year, and of course, growing up always with Yankees, Yankees all in my house. Yankee game was on one day. And I had noticed this new guy, Aaron Judge. I was like, oh man, like, who is this guy? Like, he seems really cool. And then
And
I remember having this
I think he's
conversation.
too, I first when because I live like 10 minutes from the Railroaders, their AAA team. And when I saw him live, I'm like, this guy's gigantic.
Yes, he is. Yeah, so I remember noticing him in 2017 and just being like, man, like, there's something about this guy. Like, he's just really cool. And then my brother's the one that told me, like, oh, yeah, like, that's Aaron Judge. He's a rookie. And I was like, you know what? Like, I think he's gonna be really good. And then so he was the reason why I started following the game, and Aaron Judge is the reason why I fell in love with baseball. And
Mhm.
I feel like everyone has that one player that made them fall in love with the game, and for me, it's Aaron Judge. Like just of course, his talent is just otherworldly. He's just incredible, and especially from his rookie year, broke that rookie home run record, won the home run derby, so you could see the talent right away. But for me, it was mainly just seeing how he carries himself, and he's just such a humble leader. And like you could everyone knew that obviously like he was the unofficial captain like from the beginning until he officially got named captain in
Mhm.
2023. But yeah, like he was just incredible and to have been a huge fan of his since 2017 since the very beginning and watching him grow, all the way up until now and all his success has been incredible.
And with the Aaron Judge, since I grew up in Scranton Wilkes-Barre area where the Yankees AAA team is around my 10 minutes down the road. And I remember seeing him play the years ago in 2017. And like I said, I thought he was gigantic. I don't know his size, I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he's
so
like
like since
he's
you're an
six
Aaron
seven,
Judge
yeah.
fan, and I probably
Crazy.
do but don't want to know. He's probably at least like almost 7 foot.
Yeah, yeah, he's literally 6'7". Like
No,
he's
6'7",
crazy.
literally like people are probably like, okay, okay. But like that's the year I literally became a baseball fan too. Like I always grew up around baseball. Like my brother did travel baseball as well. I grew up around baseball ever since I was literally born. Like I come from a diehard Phillies family, but I'm a diehard Dodger fan though. Doesn't make sense. I know for people listening and probably for you for yourself, I'm a Dodger fan. And a lot of people may think like, oh, why is she a Dodger fan if her family's Phillies fans and whatever, and she's a diehard Dodger fan. And literally back in 2017, the same year you fell in love with Aaron Judge, is the year I fell in love with the Dodgers because Chase Utley is like used to play for the Phillies and it was final season. And it turns out, fun fact, my brother is named after Chase Utley. So if
Oh
that's
wow.
kind of how far my family is like horizon goes back to Phillies. And I
Wow.
remember seeing him play, and I was like one of his final games in like Philadelphia. We all decided to go, and after that game, I instantly fell in love with Chase Utley. And after that game, I started watching all the Dodger games, and here's the reason why I became obsessed with baseball. Like you said, everyone always has that one player that makes you obsessed with baseball. Even if you're
Hmm.
kind of born into like a sports family, there's always that one player that made you actually like the game so much, even if they're retired or something.
Oh yeah, yeah, because you could be around it all the time, but like I was and you were, but there's always that one player that really just captivates you in it and motivates you to keep following it. And even just growing up watching him, from when I was probably like 11 in like 2017, and I'm
I
19
I was
now.
about 11 as well, or turning 11 as well.
Yeah. And so, yeah, he just really motivated me to just, learn about the game. And I remember specifically asking my brother to like quiz me on like all the new baseball terms I was learning and stuff. And like I was like so proud of myself. It's like, oh, I'm learning and like I really love this. Like I'm really into it. And um yeah, and I would make like edits, like hype up videos or whatever they call them. Like I
Oh,
used to make
really?
those. Yeah, yeah, back then I used to make all of those and I
Like
never even posted them. I have them in my camera roll still.
Like at
Honestly, I
that
should just
point, like
like
I used
pull
to
them
do
out one day.
fan pages. I don't know if you did it too, but I did like make fan pages. I mean, I don't do it now. Am I nuts? Maybe why I did it, maybe. But literally, I used to be obsessed with making fan pages for MLB players.
Yeah, that's real. I did that with a couple of my favorite singers back in the day too.
Really? I did it for a million different people, but at like during the pandemic, I just literally stopped. I was like, I had too much time on my hands to do this.
Yeah, I think that's a canon event for every fangirl.
No, I know. It feels like it's all girls running fan pages.
Oh yeah, yeah. We just get it. Like,
No,
yeah, we just
seriously.
get
And
it.
literally one of my videos I posted, it was like an influencer or something I did edit on. It literally got like a couple thousand views. I'm like,
Wow.
dang. Like, I mean, I was like, that was my first time where I basically got like, okay, I'm gonna be huge. No.
Yes, period.
Completely different than
No.
being huge.
It happens. But
So
yeah,
to
that's a
go
canon
back
event.
to Aaron Judge, you met Aaron Judge again at spring training, right?
Oh yeah, multiple times.
So, like, I know you gave him a gift for his daughter, right?
I did, yeah.
So, what did you give him? Because I personally saw it, but if no one has, like, whoever's listening to podcasts, what did you give him?
Okay, so I made him a onesie for his daughter, and I customized it myself because he was going to be playing in the World Baseball Classic, leading Team USA. So I had designed a little onesie for his daughter that had the USA logo on it, and I wrote his daughter's name Nora, and I put 99. Then on the back it said Judge 99. I just wanted to do something really special for him, and just give him a little gift because he's had such a tremendous impact on my life. So just
Mhm.
wanted to do something really special for him. And so at spring training, I just kept calling out to him and I was like, "Oh, like I made this for your daughter, like can I give this to you?" And then he called me over, had an exchange where, I gave him that and he was just so appreciative and he just kept thanking me over and over again. He's just incredible. And then he gave me an autograph as well. And just any moment that I can get to speak to him and just like have an interaction with him just means the world to me because he has
Mhm.
impacted my life in a tremendous way and it has impacted it in such a positive way. Like, baseball is such a huge part of my life now and it wouldn't be if it wasn't for him. So I can't thank him enough because the very first time I met him was in 2024 at spring training as well. I met
Oh,
him
I think I
twice.
remember that actually at like when I think I saw like a video or something that you
Oh
posted.
yeah, I'm sure you did. I probably posted that like a million times. Yeah,
But
that
it's
was the
okay.
very first time. He once again came right over to me, gave me an autograph, and I got to finally tell him, how much of an impact he's had on my life, and which literally all the years before that, that was like my one of my biggest dreams. Like I was like, I need to meet Aaron Judge. Like I need to tell him how much he means to me. So I finally did in 2024, and I ended up meeting him twice that trip. And then now this year that happened where I met him, had that exchange, gave him the gift for his daughter, he gave me an autograph, and then, I was there a lot, so I was there going every day, and then so he just like kept seeing me, and like every time he would come over for an autograph, like I would be there, and then he would just like sign for me again. He did twice after that, so I met him 3 times while I was there. And one thing about him is that he's really good with he chooses who he signs for, because
Mhm.
like there's a lot of those like grown men who like push people and like they, because they want to
Yeah,
sell
and
it.
they
You know what I
sell
mean?
them
They're
online for like $100 or whatever it
yeah,
is. Like
exactly.
I see
So,
that all the time. Like especially when I was at Philly spring training a few weeks ago, when I was in Florida, like for like 2 days, and
mhm.
most of the people, half of the men there are older men looking for autographs, like cards and all of that. And I'm like, are you an actually Phillies fan, or are you just wearing a jersey to get an autograph?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, there's definitely there's a lot of them. And that's why so Judge specifically, he's really good with he really looks at you before he signs for you because he picks and chooses who he signs for. So like he'll avoid those type of people and he'll sign for like kids and like young girls I guess and stuff like that. And like as he should, period.
Yeah, just
Um
I'm glad like he does that because it's like
it's good that he
you
does
have to
that.
have a special like mind to pick out like okay, who is this person going to
Yeah.
sell or what are they planning on doing? Are they actually
Yeah,
fanatic?
like he really looks, he really pays attention. And so that's what I'm saying is like every time that I was there, like he would just look at me and then wink at me and smile and then I would be like, "Oh my gosh, like, hey." And he's like, "Yeah, like I remember you. Like, what's up?" Because I literally just met him before that. And then yeah, so they gave me another autograph and then same thing happened like a couple days later, literally same exact thing. He like winks at me, smiles and then signs for me again. So he signed for me 3 times that week. I met him 3 times that week. And that's what I'm saying, just like every single time that I could get the opportunity to even just be near him because especially with him at spring training, the crowds are already insane, but for him specifically, he's the hardest to get to because
No,
obviously everyone wants him. And but he's really good. Like he does sign very often, but it's just a matter of like, can you physically get to him because like,
because there's
everyone
so
wants
many
him.
people, like hundreds, like
Yeah.
even if there's like maybe three people there, like people will run and push you to get his autograph.
Oh
It's
yeah, oh yeah. Because people ask me all the time, like, they think, because I'd be posting that I get a lot of autographs, and they're like, "Oh, like you make it look so easy." Like, but I'm like, it's really not. I
it's
promise
really
you,
not
it's
that
really
easy,
not.
trust
It's
me.
very hard. Because what people don't see online is that, all the times that I've walked out empty-handed, or that I've come really close and didn't get one. You know what I mean? Like, people don't see that part, but like, and there's just a lot of waiting and waiting, and you got to be patient. Really, just being at the right place at the right time, and it's really just luck, honestly. Like, because you could be
Mhm.
doing everything right too, and then hey, if they just don't want to sign that day, then they won't. But so
Yeah, like
everyone
it's
always
like
asks
a
me for
hit or miss.
tips.
Like one day maybe Aaron Judge will sign, the next day it might be Stan.
Yeah.
Like I done autographs since I was a little kid, so I understand the pain. But
Yeah.
sometimes it's kind of like, oh dang, I want to meet Aaron Judge today, maybe for an autograph or something, or maybe at like what was that? fest that you guys have every year in New York? Was it like Pinstripe Fest or
Oh
something?
yeah, Pinstripe Pride we have, yes.
Yeah, or you can meet them at like that Pinstripe Prime or something that you guys have every year. So it's kind of like you kind of have like a different type of opportunities to meet the players, even if you don't meet them at spring training or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. Because when you go into spring training, like, you could say all these guys that you want, but there really is no guarantee. Like, I just tell people you got to go into it with like low expectations. Because, like, look, did I expect to meet Aaron Judge 3 times in 1 week? Absolutely not. Like, that's so hard to do.
No,
But
yeah,
just,
it's
I
like
just,
one in a million.
yeah, like, I thank God for that. I just think everything happens for a reason. And the fact that
I
God
do
kept
too.
putting me in that situation to talk to him, it really meant a lot. And I literally, like after every time that I meet Aaron Judge, like almost every time afterwards, I literally start crying because I'm like, because I'm
No, that's
literally like,
real.
yeah,
That's
he means the
real.
world to me. So it really was incredible that that was able to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
if it
I'm very,
was
very
recently
thankful.
for me, I'll be crying every time too. Like once he said hi to me at one point during his like retirement ceremony, I couldn't stop crying for hours. It didn't
No,
stop.
literally, yes. I'm glad you understand. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's bad. Like I'm sure other fans like do this as well, but it's like especially if you're meeting him for the first time, you're like, is this real? Am I in a dream or something? Like it's so bad. Like it feels like it's not real.
Yeah, because before that, it's just something that you always imagine, and you never think like. 'Cause I remember like before I met him in 2024, like before I never met him at all, I always was thinking like, man, like, will I ever have the chance to meet him? Like, it
Yeah.
would literally mean the world to me if I could. And then finally, when I did, it just was like, like mind blowing, like incredible, and
Mhm.
just even the fact that I got to meet him 3 times in a week is just still mind blowing.
I know. And I'm like, that's luck. Like that
It
something
is
happened
luck.
for a reason. Like, especially meet him three times in one week. You're like,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
and I'm like,
I
girl, he
truly believe.
remembers you if he comes to you 3 times a week.
Yes, yes, because that's another thing is like I keep saying like, some other players might be like, oh, like I got this person already, like let me try to sign for somebody else. But like the fact that he kept seeing my face and choosing to sign for me over and over again and like, coming over to me, like that's just, everything happens for a reason. And I'm just so grateful that that happened and, just stars align and, it just happened, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it does, definitely. And to go back to the Yankees for Stanton, he's a hit or miss, right? Like he one moment he's good, and the next moment he's hurt. Like,
Yeah.
how do you think he will do this season based off of what you saw of him this past spring training?
Yeah, so with Giancarlo Stanton, it always comes down to health. When he's on the field, he's one of the most dangerous hitters in the game. And I just want to see him have a healthy season because the production is there when he is.
Mhm.
Now, I just want to add in here that he did play extremely well last season, but he only played like 77 games. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But I don't know if this is like considered a hot take, but I think this year he's gonna play like at least 100 games.
Like
Like
my
I
goal
know,
is him actually passing 77 games.
yeah, I'm gonna say yeah, I think he's gonna go over 100. Yeah.
So
Um,
hopefully that's the goal. And like for me, it's like at least make it 100 games or that's past the 77 games at least.
yeah. And like I know he said something like I don't know if you saw this, but someone with like he's got tennis elbows and like he said those are always like a factor and that he can't like open a bag of chips or something. I don't know if you
Oh
saw
yeah,
that.
that's right. I did see that at one point.
Yeah. And so but he said that, but then meanwhile spring training, like I was watching him like crush these baseballs and I'm like, I think you'll be fine.
Like, are you
You know what I
sure? Is
mean?
that actually real or is
Yes.
that like a messy joke that people make?
Yeah, exactly. And something that I've learned from, watching him all these years is that, he plays through so much and he really gives everything to the team. And, even if that means playing through pain. And, he's always been one of my favorite players since he came to New York in
Hmm.
2018. So I'm really rooting for him. And yeah, he's great.
I just pray he doesn't get hurt again this year, though, because it seems like every year he gets hurt with something. It's just a matter of what.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying is like his injuries are always a factor that it's the point of like I think, he just plays through pain at this point, which it sucks that he has to do that, but that's
Mhm.
what I'm saying. It's just I really admire him for
Mhm.
doing that for the team. Like so I'm saying it's just like I've learned that from watching him all these years is that he literally gives his all to this team, even if that
Until he
means playing
gets
through
hurt
pain.
again. Like he does give it his all, then hurt, and you're like, screw
Yeah.
it, I kind of knew this happen again.
Yeah, and I know that that probably bothers him too. I know he wants to
Mhm.
be on the field and stuff like that. Even last year, actually, he got put in the outfield for the first time in like a few years, and and I remember everyone was like, "He's like Stan's gonna play in the outfield? Like, what is going on?"
Yeah, like
But that's
once
what I'm
in a
saying.
moment for like years, like you never expect it to happen until it happens.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is that he'll do anything for the team, and I admire him for that.
hmm that's something to admire about because even if he hasn't played outfield in years, he might do like you never know. You might be good for a moment, like one game, the next moment if he goes in outfield again, he does awful. So you kind of like never know, but it's kind of great to see like a player at least willing to try something else.
Oh yeah, definitely. Especially, especially with him, the injuries could always be a factor. So that's why, we all were concerned when he went in the outfield. We're like, oh, make sure he doesn't get hurt.
I know,
Um,
like with the long throws with his arm, I'm like, for me, I'll probably be like, I don't trust this guy right now. Like, feel that thing, I don't trust him.
yeah, yeah. But the fact that he just, went out there and gave it his all for the team, just it means a lot, you know what I mean? You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's the most important thing, actually. Trying something new is always good, even if
Oh
you're a very
yeah,
good player.
definitely.
So, to almost like wrap up this episode, like what advice would you give someone wanting to turn their passions into something bigger? If, for example, you do content creation about the Yankees, as many people know you for, like how would you give them advice on how to start up and all of that?
Well, that's a great question. I would say just start and stay consistent. Like you don't need to have everything figured out at the very start, and nothing is perfect, but you'll learn as you go. And I began just simply by sharing things that I loved, like baseball and my passion for music and just everything that I loved. And it grew into something bigger. And yeah, just don't worry about being perfect and don't let the fear of perception and other people's opinions stop you because there's always going to be noise. People are always going to talk. No matter what you do, people will always have something negative to say. But what you got to do is just focus on the people that support you and focus on the positivity.
Mhm.
And it will take time to grow, but do not get discouraged. If you stay true to yourself and just focus on what you're passionate about, the right people will find you. And when you start hearing that you've inspired other people, that's when it all really feels worth it.
That's true. Like once people say that it's like for two people or whatever, people around me or for yourself, it makes me feel good. Even if it's like
Yes?
not to myself, it feels good that it's everyone's inspiring others to do the same thing. Even if it's like something about baseball, Oscars or baseball, wherever you may be making or like whatever, like it's a good thing to post something you're passionate about. Even if you might get hate for it, that's the worst part about everything.
Hmm.
But it's like at least you're doing what you love. If you don't like what you're doing, why are you even doing it?
Exactly. Like you just really gotta, even when it gets tough, you just gotta remind yourself why you started and why you love what you love and just keep going with that. And I'd say definitely like the biggest reward is the community, just finding people that love the same things as me and just, and hearing that my content resonates with them or, like I said, hearing that I've inspired someone, like even if people come up to me at games and be like, "Oh my gosh, like I follow you, like I love your videos, stuff like that," and like, you're inspiring me to like I've been told by so many other young girls that I was the one to inspire them to get into the game and really, showcase their passion for the game. And I think that is so important because
Mhm.
especially with young girls, like, I feel like a lot of them will be scared to, just show that they're into this. You know what I mean?
No,
Just
yeah,
out of the
that's
fear of like
something
being
that
bullied
I
or something like
used to
that.
do was that. And it's like if there's nothing to stress about. If you like something, you like something. I know it can be embarrassing to tell people, but there's nothing wrong with liking something.
Exactly, yeah. And so just hearing that I've inspired young girls to, be out there with their passion or their love for the game or love for music, whatever it is, like it means the world to me.
Mhm.
Yeah, because back in the day, I used to be really shy. I was a really shy kid back in the day, and I used to, just be like, oh, like shy and like not really speak up that much. And now I'm the complete opposite. And so hearing that from other young girls that they look up to me with that, it means a lot because I was them at some point.
No, yeah, I was the same way. Like I was a very shy kid, But and now I'm completely switched. You wouldn't think I was a shy kid. I'm sure
Exactly,
for
me
you as
too.
well. But it's crazy just because like, the time you guys like everyone changes, like something no one will expect of you if you're a shy kid or you started young. Like no one will expect it, but I feel like the earlier you start, the better. Even if you start up maybe 19, 5 years old, or whatever it may be, it's never too late to start because it's always, worth it if you love it so much.
Oh yeah, exactly. I think that's a great point. It's never too late to start. Yeah, for sure. Because we're human and we're designed to evolve. And like we just said, we used to be really shy, and look at us now. We're totally the opposite. So and
Mhm.
everyone's on a different pace. So
Mhm.
what that might look like, the trajectory is would probably be different with me and somebody else. And so, like you said, it's never too late for that. Um, everyone's on their own track, and yeah, it's never too late to start.
Yeah, exactly. Well said. So that is the best way to wrap up this episode. Thank you everyone for listening, and thank you so much for coming on and talking with us on Yankee baseball. We definitely have to do another big like episode to actually dive into more about content creation because I know that's something that you love so much, and also entertainment. That's something that I absolutely love too. That I can speak for hours about.
Yes.
Compare like that's a different story, but I really appreciate you coming on and taking time to chat with us today. It means so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you everyone for listening. I so appreciate it. Make sure to like, subscribe, and review, and I'll talk to you guys very soon.